Well, the federal government should probably have some discussions about their policy on the Ukraine, because they seem to be all over the place at the moment as well. Just yesterday, the Defence Industry Minister, Pat Conroy, said that he did not envisage a situation where Australian soldiers would be sent to Ukraine as peacekeepers. But today, Anthony Albanese said, well, Kier Starmer, Macron, they're talking about putting together a coalition of the willing. And, Australia is very open to sending peacekeepers. Here's the Prime Minister.
There's discussion at the moment about potential peacekeeping. And from my government's perspective, we're open to consideration of any proposals going forward.
I'm trying to guess what Chris Minn's view on peacekeepers would be. I don't know if you saw him.
He was just daydreaming.
Just really not happy at all. Peter Dutton has a completely different view when it comes to Australia's obligation in Ukraine.
In terms of whether we should have boots on the ground in Ukraine, I don't support that. I think the Europeans have that task, and I think what President Trump's pointed out is that the Europeans need to do more in the defence of Europe. And that's a statement of the obvious.
Listening to Anthony Albanese say, I'm very open to sending diggers to Ukraine as peacekeepers, I'm thinking there must be a large Ukrainian population in Western Sydney. That's the only thing I can kind of think that must be behind this. Well, we've just spent the last week absolutely failing to surveil Chinese warships off our coast. But no, we're good to send soldiers to the Ukraine to patrol the Russian army. I just think Anthony Albanese is all over the shop when it comes to foreign affairs and to defence matters. And on top of that, can't get a meeting with Donald Trump before he goes spruiking any response from Australia to what's happening in Ukraine. It might be worth getting a phone call to the leader of the free world, our major ally and security partner, and just trying to get on the same page before he starts mouthing off.
Well, and this is the thing, right? I'm not so perturbed by the idea of peacekeepers. I mean, we've been involved in peacekeeping for a long time. I think we're still in Sudan. We were in Cyprus until 2021. We've been there since the 60s. We don't tend to lose people on peacekeeping missions because you go there after a war has ended, but the war is still going. So why are we talking about we'll send peacekeepers when we literally have not negotiated an end to this war yet? The effort at the moment should be to get the war over before you start talking anywhere near sending peacekeepers in. Dutton is correct, though, and this is the point that, of course, Trump has been trying to drive, that this is a war in the European zone, and the only reason that Ukraine has been able to not repel Russia, because, of course, Russia has taken territory, but been able to sustain the war to this extent, to this point, is because the US has funded it. And we now have a president who doesn't want the war to continue, and so he's saying my support, via money, which is what allows you to keep going here, is contingent on the plan that we end this thing. That's why we had from Trump today that he's cutting off military aid until such time as they can come to an agreement, because that's the point here. The point is we want the war over. That is what we should be talking about. That's what Albanese should be talking. It's what everyone should be talking. Peacekeepers is rather beyond the point at the moment, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, sending Australians is absolutely out of the question. We've known from the beginning this is NATO's war, OK? This is between NATO and Russia, period. End of. It's in the name. North Atlantic Treaty Organisation. Are we a member state? No. Are we anywhere near the North Atlantic? Absolutely not. Also, how is this 180 from Dutton? It was just last year he was berating the Albanese government for not spending enough, fast enough. Oh, send the tanks, send this, they need more. Like Australia should have anything to do with this war. Now, of course, because Trump has stepped up to the plate, put his foot down and said, we're capping it at $200 billion, mate. You're not getting any more money out of us. Thank you very much. Now Dutton's saying, oh, no, we wouldn't put Aussie boots on the ground. But before that, he seemed to be all for it.